All right, so on this leg of the program, we'll be understanding the policy on CNG-powered vehicles for public transportation in Nigeria. Since the assumption of office of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he has made it known that he'll be looking for cheaper means of having public transportation. This is as a direct bearing from the hike in pump price of petroleum products, of course, talking about the removal of subsidy. And ever since then, we've had the presidential CNG initiative. That's talking about, compressed natural gas. And I've got somebody from that particular office who will be talking to us this morning. Mrs. Ogonna Onyemelukwe is Southwest Regional CNG Expansion Coordinator for the Presidential CNG Initiative, and she's right here in the studios. Madam, nice to have you in the building. Good morning.
Good morning.
And how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
Your first time of being in the studios here?
No.
Not? Your second time?
Third.
Third time?
Yes.
Wow, that's good. So look to your left. We have the big screen showing the roads here. What do you make of that screen?
Wow.
What do you make of it?
Oh, this is good.
It's good?
Yes.
Which of those locations can you identify?
Let me see.
Let's test your knowledge of the roads. Let me know. Which of those locations?
Okay, so the 7-Up.
7-Up?
Yeah.
At least you drive through that corridor.
Yeah,
And I
suspect
one of your stations must be along that corridor. Okay, that's good. We will not give you so much of a test, but you're welcome to the studios this morning.
Thank you very much.
All right, in the studios as well, I have Babafemi Oluwaseun, who is someone who I was talked to as a CNG educator. He's joining us in the studios this morning. Babafemi, nice to have you. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. So the Presidential CNG Initiative, for those who might not know what you guys do, talk to my listeners this morning. What was the idea behind that initiative?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Victor. Good morning, everyone. The the Presidential Initiative was set up by Mr. President. And it came from, the whole subsidy removal, knowing that the prices of petrol, PMS were going to go up, which will affect commuters because they'll be paying more,
right?
To move around from different, from point to point. And so we decided we do have CNG in the country. We have CNG, it's free. We're not importing it or having to pay for it. So why not utilize what we have in-house, right?
Right.
And so that initiative came about. And Mr. President, I can tell you, is really passionate about it.
So it's a local solution?
It's a local solution.
For a Nigerian problem?
For a Nigerian problem. Thank you. Very aptly put.
Okay.
Yes.
So how's it been ever since this was set up?
Well, truth is, the reception has been much more positive than negative.
You mean it?
Yes. Now, it is still a work in progress. It is still relatively new, and we know that as human beings, we all abhor change. We're very skeptical. This change, what exactly is there, like an underlining thing behind? Is there something else that is, So we would resist change. But the truth is, you have other people who will come up and say, "Listen, I've read about it, I've heard about it. I've even experienced it, maybe second-hand experience in the sense of, they have a friend or a close family member who has had their vehicles converted, to CNG and are now running on CNG and see that they are paying less to power the vehicles. So yes, you now have more people trying to, get on board and have their vehicles converted.
So far so good from the Presidential CNG Initiative. What have you guys been able to put on ground, to kickstart this policy from the government?
Okay. First and foremost, we have had conversion kits and cylinders brought in so as to convert commercial vehicles, because for the president, that's the core first. Convert the commercial vehicles so that people are paying less to commute, and then from there on, everybody else feels the change.
Right.
Really, yes. So what we have put in place is we've brought in free kits and cylinders which we use to convert commercial vehicles, buses, taxis, for the different unions, right?
Okay.
They're paying nothing for it. So please, I'm going to reiterate and I'm going to stress it's free.
That is free.
It is free.
It's not that they were paid.
No.
Okay.
You will not pay. You have a taxi, a registered taxi. You bring it to a verified conversion center. We have center partners across board. Go to them. They would evaluate your vehicles, ensure that it is ready for conversion, and they would convert for free. You are not paying 1 naira.
Right.
Yes.
So who can convert? Is it just anybody? Can I just take my car there and say, look, I want you guys to convert my vehicle, or I have to be a certified public transport operator, or how do you guys know who to pick to convert his or her vehicle?
So, thank you for that. You have to be registered with one of the transport unions. So it's NURTW, ARTIN, NATO, State Transportation. We're doing that for all of them.
Okay.
Yes.
And so far so good. How many states have you been able to touch?
So, for the Southwest, which I cover, the Southwest is 6 states.
Okay.
It's Lagos, Oyo, Ogun, Ondo,
And Ekiti.
and Oshun.
Okay.
So that's 6 states.
All right.
As at now, we've done 4. The 2 that are yet to, Oshun and Ondo. And in the next, I can tell you that before the end of first quarter, we would be launching.
All right.
Yes,
So-
because we already have,
So let's look at these 4 states that you've covered so far. So you've done Lagos,
Yes.
you've done Ogun, you've done Oyo, right?
yes.
And
Ekiti.
Ekiti. So those 4 states, they have been covered so far so good. So what are the things that you're going to be able to put on ground in terms of infrastructure for this in those 4 states?
So in the 4 states, we have signed up verified centers, because all centers are verified, checked out, and even must have we have bodies who work with us, like the NEDDC. All centers would have their NEDDC certification.
Okay.
Right? Yes. So the structure that we've put in place is we sign up those centers who are now partnering with us, and we make sure that we supply them with kits and cylinders for the vehicles to come in for
Okay.
conversion. Yes.
All right. And this has been done in these 4 states?
In these 4 states.
Right. Let's look at Lagos, because I know the volume of vehicles we have in Lagos would triple that of Ogun and Oyo plus Ekiti combined. So what are things that the initiative have put together in Lagos? Let's touch down on that first off.
So for Lagos as well, we have made sure that kits we're still bringing in more and more kits, because we're still having more vehicles coming in. So the thing is, the word is spreading.
Okay.
And it is not as quiet, let me use that word, as it was a few months ago. So there's more awareness, there are more people coming in. So we're making sure that we have more kits available to make sure so that no center is lacking. That's what we're doing.
Right.
We keep pushing, and then there's awareness. We keep going out to speak with them, because you find out that maybe in this area, these guys know. You'll be shocked that 2 hours away, they're not really sure. They're still very skeptical.
Right.
So it's a work in progress. We keep going at it and keep sensitizing them to make them understand that this is actually for their own good.
So in Lagos, for instance, now,
Yes.
the conversion centers, where do we have them?
Oh, we have them across. We have on the mainland, we have on the island, we have in different places. Ikorodu, Lekki Expressway, we have Ikeja. Vet Dynamo is our partner.
It's one of your partners?
Yes, he's
Okay.
a verified partner. In fact, he's one of our co-partners, and he's in Kudirat Abiola with Ikeja.
Okay.
So we have so many of them.
Right. Let me bring in Vet Diamond at this point. Baba Femi Oluwaseun. So what kind of vehicles can be converted? Talk to our listeners this morning. What kind of vehicles can make use of CNG?
Oh, any vehicle that is an internal combustion, that has internal combustion engine. So most vehicles are, ICE, that is an internal combustion engine, can
Okay.
use CNG. So whether carburetor system, whether injector system, there are kits for them. Yes.
A 1995 model?
Yes, most of them are probably maybe carburetor system, or this one they call electric carburetor that has just one injector.
Right.
They all can work.
They can work.
Yes.
If I bring in my grand uncle's 1984 vehicle, the Peugeot 504 of those days,
Well, if we have the carburetor kits for it, it will also work.
It will work.
Yes, as long as the car was using petrol.
Okay.
CNG will also, natural gas will also drive it.
Right. Let's talk about this CNG now, because when people hear gas, what comes to their mind is the gas we use at home. So how different is this kind of gas you're talking about to power our vehicles? I mean, some are still reluctant because they feel it's the same kind of gas that we use. Baba Femi, talk to me.
Okay. Natural gas is different from LPG. What you use at home is LPG. LPG is
the liquefied
petroleum gas. Is a derivative of crude oil. Natural gas, which when you compress it becomes CNG. If you cool it down and you liquefy it, it becomes LNG. If you pass it through a pipe, it becomes PNG. But they are all NG, natural gas. It's just the mode of transportation that determines whether it is the C, the L, or the P. Okay. I hope you understand.
Right.
So now, natural gas occurs separately. It can be in the same well where when you are taking out crude oil from. So it means the price of crude oil doesn't affect it. And since it's not a derivative of crude oil like what you get from the refinery, it doesn't behave like the petrol, the LPG, and the likes, even in combustion.
So it's not a volatile kind of gas.
It's not as volatile.
It's not angry.
No, it's not an angry gas like the LPG. The LPG is actually a more angry gas.
Okay.
And it's heavier than air. So if LPG leaks here now, it will stay on the ground for a while, waiting for source of ignition.
Okay.
So, but for CNG, it's lighter than air. If it comes out right now, in microseconds, it's in the air. You won't even have the chance to be able to ignite, to see ignition that will come on it. So that is why you almost can't hear about CNG or natural gas fire in.
So it's a very friendly kind of gas then?
Well, no fuel is friendly. You just need to know, okay, which one is more volatile. All the fossil fuels we have are more volatile than this particular one. We are dealing with methane. That's the same gas we call biogas. The same one you can get. It's actually inside your septic tank at home. If you put your biodigester, that same gas, that is natural gas. If you compress it, it becomes CNG.
Wow.
That's the same one you find at that dump site in Ojota area.
Yeah, that's
so we are already used to this gas around. It's just that our idea of gas came from the one of the cylinder at home. That's LPG. You see, as that gas is like that, because of knowledge that we have, we are now comfortable to even put it in our house. Some people even put it inside their kitchen, which I don't think is right. But because we have knowledge on how to handle it, now we are comfortable with it. Right. So with the more knowledge people have about CNG, the more comfortable they will get with it.
Mr. Onyemelukwe, let's get to that. Now that we have it on ground, we've seen videos in the past. Some say a particular CNG vehicle went on fire, it burst and all of that. In that kind of scenario, what is the PCNGI? What are you guys doing to dispel those kind of negative information?
So, I remember that particular incident that that we had excluded and all. I was just discussing with Mr. Oluwase when I was reminding him about it, and I said, "You realize that it wasn't even a CNG tank that was used."
Right.
Yes. What happened in that particular scenario was that some people in Benin decided to fabricate an LPG gas, which is the LPG that you use at home, the cylinder for your cooking gas. Yes. They decided to fabricate it, cut it open, and then welded it back to try and create a seamless cylinder like a CNG one, and they went and tried to fill it with CNG, and that's when it exploded.
Okay.
Yes. So we try to, when we hear even before any of these things happen, we try to, as a body, we try to sensitize people on safety. Please do not go and use, fabricated stuff in trying to cut corners. That's where you find the dangers. If you're trying to convert your vehicles, please go to verified centers.
Right.
They are verified for a reason. We don't just sign up anybody. We go there and there are checks that are done. There are technical checks that are done on the premises and facility, and then we also have to verify that the CNG personnel there have actually gone through training.
So you can say these cylinders are pretty safe.
The cylinders are pretty safe.
Okay.
Those cylinders are pretty safe.
Right. Baba Femi, talk to my listeners this morning. When you say the cylinders are safe, talk to our listeners. How safe, especially when you're doing the conversion? And some have said the roads are not very, very friendly. So the process of you going back and forth, bagagbogo, one thing or the other might shift, and then that could lead to leaks and all of that. So talk to our listeners. How safe are these cylinders?
Okay. First, the cylinders are designed to for CNG to hold the pressure that they are meant to hold. So it's a pressure vessel designed at the test pressure is 300 bars, but of course the working pressure in this country is 200 bars. In fact, most stations don't even give you up to 200 bars, because most times what you get is 180, 190, so you are within safe zone, number one. Now, these cylinders are fastened to the chassis of the vehicle. In fact, no matter how dangerous the road is, as long as the petrol tank that is installed on your vehicle has not fallen off, this one will not fall off. As long as your engine that is bolted to the chassis of your car has not fallen off, this one will not fall off, because it's also bolted to the chassis.
All right. So,
Yes.
of what advantages is the CNG over the PMS? Femi, go ahead.
Well, we would tell you that number one, we look at the cost saving, which is what affects most Nigerians. I mean, we're looking at the cost. You save, actually, by experience, is over 80%.
Over 80%. Yes.
Over 80% of what you are spending on petrol currently. I mean, then again, your servicing would reduce. Those that said, oh, CNG would damage your engine, I mean, they don't have any technical reasons, to even present. You are dealing with a fuel that has lesser carbon. What damages the engine is sludge. One of the major things that kill or reduce the lifespan of an engine is sludge. Sludge is buildup of carbon.
Right.
Now, you have more of it in the fuel that you are using originally. Now, you are not having a fuel that has very, very lesser carbon. Is methane. Methane is just one C in the carbon content.
So
you look at the formula.
it's very, very effective. That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
Madam, is your vehicle powered by CNG?
The vehicle is powered by CNG.
You mean it?
Yes, it is.
All right. There's a reaction here. This one says, good morning. My name is Shegun. I believe many people are skeptical about the CNG because the government have failed to lead by example. How many government agencies, ministries, and state officials are driving CNG-powered vehicles? If Nigerians see their leaders driving them, I'm sure there will be a massive adoption of the CNG. All right, Shegun, thank you so much for sending that to us. So, Madam, what's your response to that?
Okay, so thank you, Shegun. The thing is, it'll be good for one to know stuff before making accusations.
Okay.
We are actually even converting for a couple of government agencies. Do you understand? And everybody's going to come on board. Like I said, this initiative just started. It's work in progress. We're doing it bit by bit. We're converting for different agencies. I don't want to name names, but hey, trust me when I say we're doing. We as staff, when we first of all took out the first batch we had to get ours, because we realized, listen, we need to lead by example. People are going to be asking me questions. Oh, is your vehicle powered by CNG? Yes, it is, because I have been in our bus coming from, I don't know if Mr. Shem, I don't even know if I told you this.
Okay.
We went from Abuja because we were going to launch in Kogi and Ekiti.
Right.
So that was in October when we were going to do that run, and we left Abuja in our CNG powered buses and ran on CNG all the way, and then filled in Obajana. We refilled it with CNG and moved all the way, and it was even in while in motion at some point, I think on our way to Ekiti, that we ran out of CNG.
Okay.
Now the good thing about it is when you're converting is your vehicle nothing is taken out, so your vehicle becomes hybrid. You still have your fuel. Yes.
So you can switch.
You can switch whenever you want to.
Right.
Yes.
All right, then 08099120777. If you have any questions that relate to this issue of CNG this morning, feel free. That's why we brought in the Southwest director, who can shed some knowledge, and she's been able to reveal what they have been doing so far. So good. But if you have any questions, feel free. 08099120777 and 09153877127. Of course, Madam is here to respond, and of course, be able to take any of your concerns along as well. This one says, how does the government ensure that only high quality CNG conversion kits are used across the country. Funke is sending that one in from Magodo. Madam?
Yes.
High quality kits.
Thank you, Funke. So, before any of these things are done or brought in, we have to carry SON along.
Okay,
That's the Standards Organization of Nigeria, yes. They have to inspect and give the pass mark. So we don't just bring in junk. I mean, there are some that have been proposed which have been rejected. Do you understand? So that's so, and because, like I said, this is really, really close to the president's heart. He's very, very passionate about it. We cannot afford to mess it up.
Okay, so Standards Organization is one of your partners?
Yes, one of our core partners.
All right. This one says, amazing morning. Please, it says, please, Ma, is there any kind of training that drivers and transport operators receive to handle CNG-powered vehicles safely? This is Sumi Sola. Yeah, Sumi Sola, thank you so much for that one.
Okay, immediately we are done with the conversion, we would take them through on the safety. Okay. Before we even hand over the vehicles to them. That is what PCNGI actually told us.
Right.
Then we would they don't need to know any technical stuff because they are not mechanics, you see. So, and they are not the ones fixing their vehicle. All they need to do is to know how to operate it and what is safe and what is not safe. Then if a mechanic needs to work on your vehicle, this is where to lock the gas, this is where to turn it on. Those are the major things, because the only thing the driver interacts with in a CNG vehicle is just the button that switches between petrol and CNG.
Right.
Then also, there's anything you want to do, anything, you can lock the gas from here and open it. So the major technical things are with the mechanics that would be fixing it, which we've already commenced training for the technical people. We do that every month. Some of them are coming in and they are being certified. So training is ongoing with the mechanics.
All right. How long does it take to do the conversion?
Well, for different centers, it varies. It runs between, say, a whole full day, between 1 and 3 days. It depends on their, how many skilled personnel they have per center.
All right.
But in my own center, it's usually around 1.5 days.
Okay. Madam, at the moment, we're having the dual kind of vehicles. You have the CNG and the PMS. Are we thinking of vehicles that will just be CNG alone?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, we are. In future, we're thinking of that.
Okay,
yes.
So you guys are working on that as well.
We're working on that as well.
All right, this one says, good morning, Traffic Radio. Is there any financial support or subsidy from the government to help transport operators switch to CNG? All right, thank you. You didn't put your name. Thank you so much. So do you have any kind of support like that?
So for the transport, the commercial transports, if that's what he's asking, we're already giving out the kits and the cylinders for free.
It's free.
And converting for free.
Okay.
Right? But now for private individuals who want to also, because we've had a lot of inquiries about that, private individuals who want to convert their private personal vehicles, we have come up with something called the Camp Fund, right?
Okay.
Yes, and
people can apply.
People can apply, yes.
Camp Fund.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, on the website, apply, put in your details and all, and then you would be, and of course your location, the questions will be asked, and then you'll be referred to a particular center in your region. Let
me see if I can take this call. Hello there, good morning. Hello. Okay, we lost that. All right, so Camp Fund, once you just go to your website, which is what? www.pci.gov.ng.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you heard it from her, and you know what to do at every point in time if you also want to benefit from this kind of fund. All right. So for those in Lagos, if they want to refill, they can go to where? Where can they refill if they already have the CNG powered vehicles?
So we have different refilling stations centered around, mobile. They're in different places. We're still trying to open up some more, because the aim is that the same way that you see regular fuel stations around, in every, maybe almost every 2 streets or highways, that's the same way that would have, CNG refilling centers around as well.
Okay, so yes. You have them in most of the locations. At least I was speaking with my colleague this morning, and everybody seemed to spot the one at Mobile here.
Yes.
Maybe that's the first we had in the state as well. All right, let's begin to run this off right now. So, by the end of this year, what's the vision? What's the target that the PCNGI, what are you guys looking at in terms of getting most of these public transportation buses to be CNG empowered?
Numbers are what you call it. Our target is high, and we're looking at at even surpassing, hopefully.
Okay.
The year has just begun, and we're pushing strong.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, then that would be pretty good. So, your parting thoughts to our listeners this morning, madam? What's your message?
So the message is cleaner energy is the way, really, and the savings and the benefits of powering your vehicles by CNG are too numerous to even begin to. In terms of monetary terms, let me put it that way, because Mr. Oluwaseun said over 80%, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me even explain that a bit further.
Right.
So that would be my actual parting thought.
Okay.
Now imagine that you have a Corolla, and to fill up your tank, from empty, take your tank from empty to full, say costs you about 50,000. Let me just cap it at that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's more. If you want to fill up your CNG tank, it would cost you about 5,000. So let's
to
do
fill
the
your
math.
CNG tank.
Yes.
5,000.
5,000 naira.
As compared to
50,000. Yes.
PMS
yes.
tank.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So let's just do the math. I'll leave it there.
That is that is huge.
Because when you say 80%, people let us use the money.
Yeah, let's put the monetary terms.
Let's put the monetary terms.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's it.
All right, I'm coming for conversion of my vehicle very, very soon.
Please. Please.
All right, Seun, what's your parting thought this morning?
Oh, well, I would just say, okay, just convert your vehicle. There is nothing to be afraid of.
Right.
And if you feel you're afraid of anything, go get more knowledge.
Okay, then.
You'll be more comfortable.
We'll leave it at that for now. It's nice having both of you in the studios. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Victor.
And we've been trying to understand the policy on CNG-powered vehicles for public transportation. And I can tell you, Mrs. Ogonna Onyemelukwe has taken us to the classroom. She's the Southwest Regional Coordinator for the Presidential CNG Initiative. And Babafemi Oluwaseun of Ved Diamond also in the building as well. We have to go. Mike James has produced the program as usual. I say a big thank you to Afe John and Okpemi Shoduke, both of them of our social media unit. Our executive producer is Tayo Akonle. My name is Victor Oteri. Have a great day. Bye.